It won't be like you're not a part of Facebook. You're not a part of Facebook.
My name's on the masthead.
You might want to check again.
Oh, if you already know the answers to your questions, then why ask?
What's the most you ever lost on a coin toss?
I like the way you die, boy.
I don't want to be a product of my environment.
Now answer my question. Were you rushing or were you dragging?
My boy's awake at smile.
What is up, Film Fixation Podcast? We are back. We took a little break there. We had some vacations and whatnot planned, but we're back. We're here to talk about Barbie with you. We're very excited. My name's Jaron. I'm joined here by Austin. And before we get into it, we're going to talk about some film news with you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Austin, you want to take care of that for us?
Let's do it. For our listeners who can't see, Jaron and I are wearing matching shirts from director Greta Gerwig, matching with our
you wore this to the premiere, right?
I did, yeah. I bought some pink shorts. My sister-in-law gave me a little button that said I love Barbie. I wore that on my pants.
That's perfect.
It's pretty cool.
Okay, sweet.
Okay, so Napoleon trailer dropped. It's one of my most anticipated movies of the year.
Okay.
So I'm really excited for that. Joaquin Phoenix, Ridley Scott, Napoleon. So did you watch it?
I think I watched like part of it on like TikTok or something. I don't think I watched the whole thing.
It's looking pretty good.
It does. Sometimes, like, dude, the Barbie trailer gave up like so much of Barbie.
Yeah.
Like, the first like 20 minutes, I was like, okay, let's skip past everything that was in the trailer. Let's get to what I haven't seen, you know?
I was saying the same thing to Grace. Like, everything from the very beginning to the beach off joke, that was all in the trailers.
Yeah, exactly.
And I was like, maybe I just watched too much stuff. Maybe I like looked too much into this movie. Maybe for the average moviegoer.
That's probably true,
but
as well. But they definitely gave up too much.
Yeah, way too
They
much.
kept the plot under wraps.
Yes.
Which I liked, but yeah, just way too much. I think I'm just gonna watch like teaser trailers from now on. I mean, it'll be hard to contain my excitement. You know, I was always gonna watch every Barbie thing that popped up, but
right. Yeah, nothing would have changed that. But I think you're right. Going forward, I'll probably do the same. Wonka trailer also came out.
Yeah. What did you think of that?
It looks really silly.
It does.
Yeah.
What do you think of Timothy's Wonka voice?
I mean, we love Timmy Tim, man, but it might be a hard watch for me.
Really?
It's just goofy.
It is a little goofy. What does he say? He's like,
quiet up and
listen down.
Listen down. Wait,
like,
reverse that.
Scratch that and reverse it. It is goofy. But, you know, I'm still optimistic.
Yeah.
For the most part about it. People will have to see it. So.
Yeah, it's one of those movies that everybody's like, do we need one of these? Do we need a Wonka prequel? But because of that kind of releases some pressure in terms of anticipation, you know?
Yeah.
Where I'm like, it's a Wonka prequel. It shouldn't be my favorite movie of the year anyway. So,
Is it a Wonka prequel to Tim Burton's Wonka or to the original?
I don't know.
I think it's... Yeah, I don't know either. It's got more of a Tim Burton vibe, don't you think?
It seems that way, but the Oompa Loompa at the end is orange with green hair. So that lends itself to the original. I don't know. We'll see.
I heard the director, I can't remember if this is true or not, but Timothy didn't have an audition for Wonka. He just got the part because the director had already seen his high school rap video posted.
Timmy Tim. Yeah. I did see that.
Yeah. He's talented, man.
He is. He can do
undeniable.
This is the guy that directed Paddington and Paddington 2.
Oh, that's great.
And Paddington 2, I haven't seen it, but apparently it's like Godfather level cinema, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, we'll have to
watch it. I've heard it's great, actually. Okay, next thing. Anthony Carrigan to play Metamorpho in Superman Legacy. That's the guy in Barry. the Chechen guy.
How far are you in that series?
I finished.
You did?
Yeah.
What did you think?
I didn't love the final season.
Neither did
I didn't like that big time. Spoilers for Barry.
The time jump.
Yeah, I didn't like that too much.
Yeah, it lost a lot of its appeal to me.
Yeah. Like the final episode, I was like, how is that how it ends? Like, oh man, I really don't want to spoil it, but like, yeah, it just because I watched it over the course of like a weekend and a half, like pretty quickly. So that drop off from season 3 to season 4 is extreme. When you're watching
weekend and a half?
Like a Thursday, Friday to Monday. I've never said weekend and a half. Yeah, I know.
Watching Breaking Bad. Like,
no, I pulled a Spencer. I had it pulled up while I was playing Minecraft. But that'll be exciting. I like that guy. So
it usually just has Minecraft pulled up when he's just doing anything else.
Well, yeah, it's usually he's got his iPad out with American Dad on one side, and then Family Guy split screen on his iPad, Minecraft, and then in his right hand he's got his phone with TikTok. Actually, Ellie's standing there holding his phone, swiping through TikTok. That guy.
So that's exciting though.
Yeah,
he's a very funny character on Barry.
Yes,
probably my second favorite.
And James Gunn has said that his DC universe is going to be more fantastical and more comic-like than, like the grounded MCU and what the DCEU is trying to be. So I could see him being like a funny, goofy character. So we'll see.
He is goofy.
The Flash ends its theatrical run with a smaller box office than Green Lantern, which we probably had a lot of influence in that.
I think so, yeah.
So thank you to our listeners for not supporting Flash.
For protesting it. And they came out with the CGI like stills.
Yeah.
Horrible.
And it's as bad.
Everybody knows it's out there how bad the CGI was.
Yeah. Yeah, if you thought we were being dramatic, just go look at those stills. It's insane.
Yeah.
Dune Part 2 might be delayed into 2024 due to ongoing strikes. The SAG-AFTRA and the WGA.
But I mean, I thought it was mostly wrapped up,
No, man.
They filmed everything, haven't they?
Oh, yes. But because of the nature of these guilds, the actors can't participate in any promotions for these movies.
Okay.
So even though Dune Part 2 is mostly done, the studio doesn't want to do all this promotional work without the actors, so they're going to move it into next.
Yeah.
Which is so paradoxical. Like if your movie will fail without the real people behind it.
Yeah.
So much so that you need to push it back. Why not just give them what they want? I don't know. So yeah, that might get pushed back. The Color Purple might get pushed back. Zendaya's new movie, Challengers, is probably going to get delayed. Or no, that one did get delayed, confirmed. So, and that was supposed to kick off the Venice Film Festival. So that's kind of big news.
Well, the Oppenheimer cast left the premiere.
Mm-hmm.
The protest got announced, or the strike got announced right as they were there.
Yeah.
So that's crazy.
Yeah.
I feel bad for Nolan,
Well, yeah.
It's just like abandoning him. I mean, they have to.
They have to.
But that just sucks for him, like his big moment,
Right, but I think he more than anybody understands it, Like he's a writer and he's at risk of losing his job in the future because of this issue as well, so.
Yeah.
But yeah.
The timing of it is just bad.
Really does suck. And then all the promotional stuff that came out after that, like I was seeing some Barbie videos, and at the end or beginning of each video, there had to be a disclaimer. This was filmed before the strike, So pretty interesting. Anyway, there was also that interview with Christopher Nolan where he said he's done directing superheroes, but he might do a Star Wars.
Yeah.
He didn't say as much, but he passed on the question rather than saying yes or no. So,
dude, would you trust him for the Star Wars film?
Yeah. I mean, he's better than like a Rian Johnson or a J.J. Abrams for sure.
He's definitely,
I mean, I'm not the biggest Christopher Nolan fan out there, but like, imagine what he did with Interstellar, transferring something like that to the Star Wars universe.
Yeah.
obviously not.
I don't know if Star Wars is an idea that best suits him and his style.
Yeah.
Where it's like very dialogue focused. But I think, I'd love to see like the visuals. Gosh, stupid mosquito like landing on my mic. Yeah, but
Yeah. No, but he'd be all practical, so like the costumes would be cool.
Yeah.
Actual lightsabers,
You
dude.
would make them, yeah. That would be sweet.
No, but I agree. I wouldn't really want him to waste his time on a Star Wars project. I don't think it would be as good as
It's beneath him.
something else. Maybe, yeah. Yeah. Barbie earned $377 million in this worldwide box office opening weekend, and Oppenheimer made $175 million, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Those are both huge opening weekends.
I know. And especially for a rated R, I'm talking about Oppenheimer, but for a rated R movie, it's a biopic about
Yeah, a historical drama.
Yeah, making that much money, that's crazy.
And the budget was only like $100 million, right?
I don't know.
It was a pretty low budget considering everybody in this huge cast and all the technical work they had to go into.
Yeah. Well, it was filmed in, I think, 57 days.
Yeah.
Something like that.
It's just amazing.
Yeah, it's crazy. It was genius releasing those two on the same day.
Yeah.
The hype that it created and how many people went and did like double features,
Mm-hmm. Well, even yesterday when we went to go see Oppenheimer, I have never seen that many people in a movie theater.
I know. Me neither.
Like, what a buzz. And some people are walking out wearing pink. They just came from Barbie.
Yeah.
There's every, like, pretty normal-looking person going into Oppenheimer. And then all the people
They were
wearing...
pretty normal.
all the ancient people, like, walking out, they were just coming out of Sound of Freedom or something like that. So that was really cool to see. Just, like, cinema's back, movies are back. Awesome.
I loved it. That was such an amazing experience.
Yeah.
But we'll talk about that on the Oppenheimer.
Yes. We decided to split them in two because we have so much to say about each of them.
Yeah, we don't want this to be like a 3.5 hour Barbenheimer pod where nobody finishes it.
So that one will come up later this week. I'm going to go see it a second time, Oppenheimer. So we'll release that later this week, either Tuesday, Wednesday, something. And then last little bit here, Greta Gerwig breaks opening weekend record for a female director, which is awesome. She deserves it. So yeah, that's all the news I've got. Anything else?
Nope.
Okay.
All right. Let's get into it. Okay. Barbie 2023, directed by Greta Gerwig. I'll give you the synopsis. She's everything. He's just Ken. Barbie and Ken are having the time of their lives in the colorful and seemingly perfect world of Barbie Land. However, when they get a chance to get to the real world, they soon discover the joys and perils of living among humans. It is starring Margot Robbie, Ryan Gosling, America Ferrera, Ariana Greenblatt, Kate McKinnon, Michael Cera, and Simu Lee, Issa Rae, and a bunch of other people. A bunch of other Barbies, a bunch of other Kens. Only one Alan and one Marge.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's read the reviews for this thing. 90% Rotten Tomatoes critic score, and then 90% audience score. Now, I did make this yesterday, so I don't know. That's probably still the same. I need to check that.
I'll just double check
while I read the other ones. IGN, 9 out of 10. Really good for IGN. IMDb, 7.7 out of 10. Very good as well. And it's got a letterboxed average of 4.3.
Wow.
Which is extremely high. You gave it 5 stars.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. I've backtracked a little bit.
You did? Okay. Yeah. I gave it originally a 4.5 the night of. And then the next day I gave it a 4. And this morning, after I left Oppenheimer, I had time to think about that. And more about Barbie as well. I gave it a 3.5.
Wow.
Yeah. But let me just say, I got what I wanted.
Yeah.
From the film, I got everything I wanted, but I got a lot of what I didn't want as well.
Okay.
Let me talk about my experience watching.
Please.
Film, okay. So you didn't wait for me to see this.
Well, okay.
Let's let Let's let y'all know this. Okay. I was on a cruise, which my mother planned for, not looking up release dates
Mhm.
of the two most important films of the year.
Yep.
Bad on her part, you know. And I don't even think she told me about the cruise or whatever till like 2-3 weeks ago, you know. It was too late to cancel. I
Right.
tried to arrange to see Barbie on the last stop of my cruise, Victoria, British Columbia, Canada. But I was only going to be in port for like 4 to 5 hours,
Mm-hmm.
and movie theater was like half hour away. It was starting 2 hours after I docked, and I just couldn't make it in time.
Right.
And my family, when I told them I was going to try it, my family verbally protested,
Uh-huh.
made me feel like an outsider. So I just decided to drop it and decided to wait. I left my phone at home while I was on the cruise, partially just to disconnect, partially because I didn't want to see any reviews of Barbie and
Smart.
Oppenheimer. Didn't want anything spoiled. I did, however, get my friend, my brother-in-law's phone, and I checked Letterboxd to see what you thought of it.
Uh-huh.
Last stop. And I saw you give it 5 stars. Didn't read your review. I was very excited, though. So, dude, Spencer just texted us. $6 for the pod. He's trying to make a profit off of us.
I know. It is so... You know how much it costs?
Nothing. We should be making a profit by now.
Yeah.
With our thousands. Millions.
It is such a shame, dude. He's just trying to ride our coattails to success.
Is he still doing that Minecraft pod?
Yeah.
He is.
Yeah, so...
Okay.
I can't make the joke.
Turn into that.
Yeah.
Okay. What was I saying? Okay, so you didn't wait, which is fine. You were excited, you know?
Listen, this has been our personality,
Yeah.
our collective personality for over a year now,
Yeah.
was Barbenheimer.
Yeah.
So when you told me you weren't going to make it, my heart was broken. Even the day of, I had booked tickets with just me and my wife. And the day of, I was like, I don't know if I want to see this without Jaron. Like, maybe I just wait. But at that point, if I would have canceled that, I wouldn't have been able to get a seat with you the next day. So
That's true.
I went, enjoyed it. But I want to hear your thoughts, because here's my thing. Initially, because I had made it my personality for so long, 5 stars. There are a ton of flaws with this movie, like a lot. I saw it a second time, and there were some scenes that are just really hard to sit through.
Yeah.
So that made me bring it back to a 4.5.
Okay.
Realistically, I think it's probably a 4 for me, because the highs are so great and so perfect.
Mm-hmm.
You know, namely Margot Robbie, Ryan Gosling's like comedic delivery.
Oh, yeah.
That's 5-star for me.
Yes.
Then there are 2-star moments or 1-star moments, so it brings it down quite a bit, which I think we'll get into this later. I think some of those 2-star moments for me were probably not Greta Gerwig's creative vision.
You think so?
I think maybe Warner Brothers and Mattel made her bow to a few things.
Okay. Like product placement.
Product placement.
A Chevy commercial.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that was booty. My biggest problem was the character Sasha, who is America Ferrera's daughter.
Yeah.
Like,
Just smarter than everybody.
yeah, like no, she's 12 years old.
Yeah.
No 12-year-old talks like that. And like, I hate that scene at the middle school where Barbie goes up to her and her 3 friends, and they're all like, "Oh, she's gonna destroy you," and then she comes and like gives this like long cringe monologue. It's a cringy millennial person writing for a 12-year-old, and it just comes off as super disingenuous and cringy.
Yeah.
So stuff like that was really low for me. Hated that part, but go on.
I think I was just affected a little bit more than with the lows. I wasn't so much like offended by this movie. I was hurt at some parts. Okay. I felt targeted. I felt accurately depicted in some parts.
Like the Godfather part?
The Godfather part, anything Ken does.
Right.
And I felt embarrassed in certain parts.
Dude, one part that really, I turned to Grace and I was like, Jaren's going to love this. Really? When they just get into the real world and Barbie's like, I just need to sit and think for a second. And Ken is like, oh, I hate it when people think it's so boring. And he's like kicking and like pouting. I was like, Jaren's going to love this.
I did love that. That was good. I love just when he was exploring the real world stuff,
Oh, dude, hilarious.
So good. But yeah, so I'll tell you my experience.
Okay.
I see this with two of my bestest friends, Zach and Tristan. And I'm hyped, man. I'm excited. I'm wearing my Directed by Greta Gerwig shirt. Pull up to the theater. Nobody else is wearing this shirt, okay? They're all wearing their generic, stereotypical Barbie shirts.
Sure.
That are pink and whatever. Nobody knows that Ryan Gosling wore this to one of his red carpet walks.
Yeah, literally us.
Yeah.
Our literally me guy wore this.
So that's who I came to the theater for. And I felt good, man. I felt camaraderie among my fellow women in the theater.
Right.
It was 90% women. And it was, nice to see a couple dudes. Most of them boyfriends, husbands. A couple guys tagging along to the girls' trip.
Right.
And so I was feeling good, man. And started. I could tell we were sitting by some annoying girls next to us. They were kind of cringe. The AMC almost kind of got pissed for a second because I didn't tell you this, but we were movie was starting and the lights hadn't dimmed for any of the trailers. So Tristan's like, "Oh, they're not going to dim the lights for the movie." And then it starts. Lights are still bright.
Oh my
God. You can see everybody in the theater. And I look around and I said a curse word. I was angry, just to myself.
Right.
A girl 2 seats over is like, "That's a bad word." And I was like,
what?
Yeah. I'm like, "Sorry." And then said something else. I just ignore her,
She said something else to you?
Yeah. I didn't even remember it. My brain filled with a rage.
Wow.
And smoke was coming out of my ear, and I balled my fist, and I sat there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I need to get past this quickly. So that I'm either gonna punch her or leave.
I think that's why you didn't like the movie, dude.
No.
To have that experience and then have it be a feminist movie.
But then I got exactly. Yeah. So then I started feeling a little bit like the enemy there, like an outsider. Then everything happened. Going to the movie, first hour, loved it. Okay. I got past the cringe moments, just because I was so like naively wanting to enjoy every minute of the movie. And I did. But then last hour happened, snowball effect. Some things bothered me. Some things hurt my feelings. And when it was over, I sat there and I looked around and I didn't feel like the movie was made for me. Obviously it wasn't.
Right.
But I just like was delusionally thinking that this was going to be like a relatable movie for me. It was through Ken's perspective.
Right.
But Ken gets the bad end of the stick on this movie. And he gets thrown around and he gets underappreciated. So I felt that. This movie, it felt like a tragedy for me, and it hurt my feelings. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It's very entertaining. The performances are spectacular.
Amazing.
Ryan Gosling, his comedic timing is genius.
Yeah.
And Margot Robbie is so stunning to just watch do anything, you know? And, but, you know, I look around, I felt embarrassed. I didn't want to show my face. I wanted to leave the theater right away.
Right.
I felt like I'm the enemy right now. These girls don't like me, you know? They just got to watch me for an hour and make fun of me.
Yeah.
As Ryan Gosling, you know?
Yeah, that's literally you, yeah.
I know, exactly. So that's how I felt, man, and it hurt. It
Yeah.
was sad. But it made me think. It made me more look inside myself,
Mm-hmm.
you know, made me want to be better. But I had to come to those conclusions on my own on how to be better. I feel like I was just told I was the problem for the entirety of the movie, you know,
Right.
and to stick to myself. Because that's pretty much the resolution that happens with, you know, the Kens. Just you guys just go be Kens and bother other Kens, you know, don't mess with Barbie. But yeah, I feel like they're just misunderstood. And I feel like that was tragic to watch, how misunderstood they were in this movie.
Yeah, it was. Let me say one thing to your point about Ken getting the short end of the stick. On the second watch, I really noticed how quick, and of course it was sad, like at the beginning when Ken is waiting outside her house and she's like, "Oh, I don't want you here. Every night's girls' night."
Dude, everybody
Yeah.
laughed at that part.
That hurts, and that hurts.
That was
Okay.
a gut punch right there.
That hurts.
Yeah.
But then Ken's response to like bring the patriarchy back to Barbie land, this, for all intents and purposes, utopia for the Barbies, like a safe space for them, and just destroy it and take everything they've ever built up.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't love Barbie. He actively tried to destroy her world and succeeds in so much
he
that,
just wanted her attention.
but it wasn't about that. Like, he turned into like a totally different being, and it wasn't to get her attention. He even said, like, "You can be my bride wife or my long distance low commitment girlfriend if you want." Totally destroys her world, and at the end of it, she's left to fix the issue, and then still she is the one apologizing to him. Like, he never apologizes for doing all of that. She still has to do the emotional work to pick him up and like let him realize that he could just be just Ken, just be himself without Barbie.
Yeah.
Like, he's a true villain in this movie.
Yeah.
And I agree, it's hard when he's so lovable and so, like, I don't want to say relatable because that might out us as something, but like, he's so relatable, and then, but he really is the true enemy of the story.
I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah.
You know? And when it was revealed that he was the enemy, I'm like, okay, great. I love a layered, misunderstood villain in the movie, you know? And I hope he finds his, his resolution.
Right.
You know? But okay, that is a good point that he didn't apologize. But I think the real world, he went and he saw all the bad aspects of it. And you know, he wasn't that smart. He took what he wanted to take from it.
Right.
Misunderstood it, partly. He brought back, you know, the Ken Dome, or whatever he called it, you know. But I feel like that wasn't him in that moment.
Yeah,
You know,
right.
It was pent up. It was a retaliation to Barbie ignoring him his whole life and all of what he wanted from her he never got. So he tried to make his own way. And then, you know, when he asked her if she wants to be his wife or long distance, non-committal girlfriend, that was just a way for her to still be part of his life, you know? But then when she was like, you know, tell him everything he was doing wrong, and then he kind of realized, like, yeah, this is wrong. I didn't even want to do this in the first place. He's like,
Right.
Once I realized the patriarchy wasn't about horses, I lost all interest.
Right.
You know, he just got caught up in it.
Yeah.
And that happens, you know, and Barbie was understanding.
Yeah.
And she helped him through it, helped him realize that he needed to figure out who he was outside of Barbie. That's perfect. I feel like that's the resolution he needed.
Well, yeah.
But I wish that Barbie would have seen his worth. I wanted the Barbies to see the worth in the Kens.
Yeah,
Not just tell them to figure out their own problems on their own.
Right. And you make an excellent point, because without that conflict in Barbie's life, she would have never come to the realization that she wants to be human and not just be an idea. She wants like something more.
Yeah.
So that was a purpose that Ken served perfectly, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
So I agree with you there. It is, I don't want to go full feminist here, you know?
Okay.
By definition, I think I'm a feminist.
Okay.
I'll out myself, whatever.
All right.
I believe women should have equal rights, whatever. Sue me.
I think they should have equal rights.
Yeah. I think we're both feminists by definition.
Well, I wouldn't say that's feminist. I'd just say that's pro equal rights.
Oxford Dictionary definition of feminism is the belief that women should have equal privilege as men.
Okay.
Equal, not above.
Okay.
That gets twisted with other movements and things like that. But
yeah,
dictionary definition, I think we're both feminists.
Okay, good.
I was watching, in preparation for this movie and for Oppenheimer, I was doing some of Greta Gerwig's suggestions for Barbie, and I was doing some Christopher Nolan movies. One of the movies I watched was The Prestige, which I had never seen. It's a great movie.
We talked about that on last podcast.
Yeah. Great movie. I liked it a lot. One thing I noticed about it is the women in that movie are so, like, there's no depth to them, no regard for their characters. They're just written in as, like, tools. So the one wife dies to serve as motivation for Hugh Jackman's character.
Yeah.
The other wife kills herself because she's not loved by Christian Bale's character. Mm-hmm. And then the third one, Scarlett Johansson, she's just like a disloyal whore that sleeps around with whatever magician is successful at the time.
Yeah.
Like, and if you're a woman and you go to the cinema and that's how you see yourself represented, mm-hmm. It's like, obviously, you know from creators, like, what you're getting into.
Yeah.
But if that's what women experience in the cinema, I can take one movie where they feel empowered and I feel like the bad guy, you know? Okay. That was kind of my coming away. And I'm glad I watched The Prestige the day before.
Yeah.
Because in the moment, I was like, yeah, this is great. It was refreshing. I wrote this in my review, to see, like, a film about women built up from the ground up by a woman, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why I was like okay with being the bad guy, and it was easy to laugh at the jokes about the patriarchy, because it's funny in part because it's true, you know.
Yeah.
And maybe even though we're not actively contributing to the patriarchy, like, we're still a part of it, and we should be able to laugh at ourselves about it.
Yeah.
And the fact that Greta Gerwig understood that enough, like, she's married to a film bro. She's married to Noah Baumbach, who is also a co-writer on this movie. Director of one of my favorites, Marriage Story. Great film. Oh, yeah. She's married to a film bro, so she knows, like, the funny parts about us.
That makes sense. Because I was wondering how she knew some of these things.
Yeah.
You know?
So I think that's why, like, it hit you so hard, hit me so hard.
Yeah.
Was because it's funny, because it's true, you know?
And I'll say this, I loved those parts.
Yeah.
I thought it was hilarious how accurately she was able to make fun of us.
Right.
Because I tried to explain The Godfather to somebody literally this past week.
Really?
Mason, my younger brother, my sister, we were talking about, like, Mamma Mia 2, and I was like, yeah, you know, it's in the exact same, like, it's like chronologically just like The Godfather Part 2, where they talk about the mom and there's flashbacks to her youth.
Right.
That's going on at the same time. It's just like De Niro in The Godfather Part 2.
It's a great point.
And there's more, you know, aspects of it, but that would take a while to explain, you know. And you see, I'm already just like trying to explain it. And I get caught up in that stuff, and it's like, okay, this is an awakening. And he had a driver, you know, and
right,
just sheathed it like a sword, and it does feel like a sword.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you hit a great drive, man.
Yeah.
I've done that. You got to sheath it.
Yeah.
You know? And pull-up bar, just randomly having one. We were on a hike in Alaska this last week, and there was a pull-up bar. I just did a couple.
Right.
Just because I saw it, you know? You have to. That's just part of being a guy, you know?
Right.
And the Zack Snyder jokes or whatever about being obsessed with his cut of the Justice League. It was funny, you know?
Yeah.
It was relatable. And I enjoyed it. But I prepared myself a little bit for how feminist this movie was going to be.
Mm-hmm.
And I was fully prepared to get on board with it,
Mm-hmm.
you know? I just didn't want it to be at my expense so much.
Right.
You know, where it's like, I love the jokes, but when you pin all the problems on men and you just say, men are stupid, you know, these Kens are dumb, and that's the root of all our problems. You know? That hurt, and I just didn't like watching it, you know? And I don't feel like I feel like it should have been more empowering for women. I feel like it was more of a victimization, complaining about men, instead of building up women and, you know, stuff like that. I guess, you know, obviously I'm not a woman.
Right.
I don't know exactly how they're going to take it, but I've talked to a couple of people, you know, a couple of women, two women to be exact, who saw this movie, and they said that's what they didn't like. They didn't feel like it was empowering. They felt like it was complaining about men and putting all their problems on them, you know. So that bothered me, and that's the main reason why it was a lower score for me.
Yeah.
Even though I loved it, I loved the visuals, I loved the performances. She created a beautiful world inside of Barbie, and I'm going to rewatch it just for those things. But those bad beats, those 1-star, 2-star moments for me are just going to hit a little bit harder. They're going to bother me.
Yeah. Well, maybe what we ought to do is just when this movie comes out, we can kind of edit it down and cut out those cringy parts.
Yeah.
Because
I'm satisfied just with Ken's song.
I know,
Just
hilarious.
that, you know,
Also,
just the beat.
after this conversation about feminism and everything, it's funny that we're going to turn back. Here's one problem with the movie.
Yeah.
Is Ryan Gosling is so perfect in this movie that he steals the limelight in a lot of parts.
He's seen.
So in an inherently feminist movie, one of the most the most entertaining part is a dude.
Yeah.
It's just ironic. That being said, this guy's 42, 45.
Mhm.
His body, insane. You know, just looked so great.
Yeah.
But yeah, like he stole the show. He was so funny and so perfect in everything.
Yeah. And women are loving him in this role from what I've seen. Like TikTok comments, just talking to people, the vibe. They're like, oh, his energy, he's so safe to be around. He's so funny. Just the perfect Ken, you know?
Right.
And yeah, he was perfectly cast for this.
Yeah.
I hope he gets nominated for an Oscar, man.
Yeah, like
No, it's gonna happen. I think it's a little wishful thinking, but yeah,
I could see a nod for Best Supporting Actor.
best supporting.
I don't know, a win, especially after Oppenheimer.
No, he definitely won't.
But yeah, it was great. Margot, I mean, this whole movie was perfectly cast.
Mhm.
Margot Robbie was so interesting because, like, every interview you see with her, you can just tell she's an incredibly intelligent and vibrant person.
Yeah.
And like, I was watching this video of this guy who worked on set, and he's talking about like how personable and like professional she is,
Mhm.
and you just get that feeling from her.
Yeah.
So her ability to play like a dumb blonde Barbie, and then transition and like experience that character arc into a mature, more level-headed, turning into a human being, just speaks to her acting prowess.
Oh yeah, and I feel like she brought some of that nuance and sophistication to the role.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean,
Yeah,
there's parts where you're like, wow, Barbie's smart.
yeah,
you know?
it's amazing.
And you know what? I'll say this. That reminds me, like, why maybe it hurts me a little bit more. It's because it's Margot. It's because Margot doesn't watch Ken. And I see myself, if it was any other actress, if this was Amy Schumer, I'd be like, perfect.
Yeah.
Ken doesn't even watch it.
All right. Hello again. Just quickly want to clarify. Sorry about the bad audio that you may have noticed on the pod as of now. We had some technical issues. My fault. My microphone was plugged in, but it wasn't connected to what we needed it to be connected to. So that sucked because we were really, really, really proud of this pod. We were like in a car after we recorded, and we were like, wow, I think that was our best work. So we hope you guys liked the first half. Unfortunately, the next hour of the pod, it ended up being an hour and 50 minutes long, but we can't even use the last hour because it just gets incoherent, and you guys deserve better. So we're re-recording the categories. We're making it a bit different so nothing's disingenuous. And we did a Ryan Gosling draft at the end of the pod, which was super fun. But both of us kind of just got exactly the films we wanted. So this time we're adding in Margot Robbie's films into the draft. So we can pick from either one, assemble a team of movies, and we'll decide whose is better. So that'll be at the end of the pod. Something to look forward to. Okay, so first of all, it's been about a week or so since we recorded. Our thoughts on Barbie have changed somewhat. Austin, anything you want to change about your opinion on Barbie that you've stated?
I think I kind of got it out in the first half. Just how this is a flawed movie at its core.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, I'm not sure if I said it in the first half, but I will say it now. I think that is the fault of Mattel and Warner Brothers probably meddling too much.
Yeah.
Just because I trust Greta Gerwig and I've seen what she's produced before. And this was honestly just a step down. I mean, it was bigger and brighter and more ambitious, but as in terms of like feeling and heart, this seemed a little bit like a step down. Again, I loved the movie. I thought it was fun. But we've seen 2 5-star movies since then.
Yeah.
At least I have. 3 maybe if you count Superbad that we watched the other day.
Yeah, that's true.
And so, yeah, you kind of look back and you're like, well, maybe Barbie doesn't hold up to these 2 as well. So,
yeah, we'll see how it ages a week later. I mean, I was very critical of it, just because it's easier to talk about criticism sometimes, and you can kind of go on a rant. But I've softened up to it because I realized that, well, I heard an interesting point of view on it, how it must feel for a girl to go to this movie knowing it was actually made for them, you know? I mean, we probably take for granted just how many movies are guy centered, you know? I mean, we just saw Oppenheimer, and one of Nolan's criticisms as a director is he doesn't know how to write women characters.
still true.
Yeah, I mean, that is kind of apparent.
Yeah.
In like Florence Pugh's character. Emily Blunt has an amazing performance, but I'm sure there was more depth to her character. And what's the girl who's just like randomly assigned to the team, you know, at Los,
Like the chemist girl?
yeah,
Yeah.
where they're like, she's like, I wanted a job. They asked me if I could type, and then he's like, well, can you? And she's like,
Harvard left that out on their advanced chemistry course or whatever, you know.
just kind of a funny, like, quirky girl moment, you know.
Well, and it was funny seeing Oppenheimer after Barbie
Mhm.
because then it was apparent how few like deep women characters there were.
Yeah.
You know? And of course, I'm one for historical accuracy in a time like this. And of course, women weren't given the same degree of respect back then.
Yeah,
but it's just, a funny contrast for them to come out
it
on
is.
the same weekend.
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
Barbenheimer,
exactly.
phenomenon.
These movies can be more different, but we enjoyed both of them in their own respective ways. So yeah, I understand a little bit more that it's important for women to get excited about this movie and go see it. Take whatever message from it you want, I guess. If you leave the movie hating guys a little bit more, then that's all. That's fine. That whatever. I can take one, and
Right.
I'm sure you guys have felt like you're just cast aside in a bunch of movies. So, like, I was thinking, Stand By Me. No, there's not a single like woman character like at all.
Yeah, I'm looking at the posters we have.
Yeah.
The Departed, Fight Club.
I mean, Fight Club.
Yeah.
What's her name? Sarah Botcham Carter's
Yeah.
role. She's great.
She's integral to the plot.
Yeah. The Departed. Yeah, it's just like the therapist lady.
Yeah.
Yeah, with a bad Boston accent. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I mean, Margot Robbie didn't really have that many lines in that movie, but Quentin Tarantino wanted to kind of preserve her innocence in that. But yeah, my Scarface Beetlejuice poster.
Yeah,
nothing wrong with that, actually. Yeah. Okay, so we'll get into the categories here. Okay, so favorite part. We've kind of already agreed on this. I say it's just Ken's song. It's just a beautiful, the dance choreography, Ryan's beautiful voice. It starts slow, it gets progressively more like upbeat and like the different dance numbers. I mean, when they switch and they're in like those black shirts and kind of dancing at each other, then they interlock like hands, and it becomes like a in unison thing, and it's beautiful. And it's probably
put your
my
man's
favorite.
hand in mine. That's what they say, and it ends perfectly. I think that's great.
Yeah.
I know we agreed on that last time, but just because I want to spice it up a little bit, maybe the ending, not the very ending.
Okay.
We'll get into that. But where she finally decides she wants to be human, and she's there with Ruth Handler. Just really love that scene.
Yeah.
May not be like the most rewatchable scene or the scene where I had the most fun, but I feel like that's the heart of the movie, and it really worked for me.
Yeah, that was great. Spencer, he said he cried. At that part.
I cried. Well, I teared up.
You teared up?
Time.
Yeah. Oh wow. I need to watch it again. Also, I'll say another part I liked was when Barbie's on the bench, and she's talking to that old lady, and she's just like, "You're so beautiful." She's like, "I know." That's a great, female empowerment moment right there. That was good. And just like, I don't know, it seemed very genuine the way she was saying it, and it seems like I guess it's not out of character for Barbie, but
Well, I think that was like the beginning steps of her understanding that she can, because in Barbie world, they're all like that, where they all acknowledge.
She'd never seen an old person before.
Yeah.
So that was
That's a
like
great point.
completely genuine.
And I think that planted a seed for her to realize, later on in the movie when she's wanting to become a human, she doesn't want to be the idea anymore. She wants to be the one making the ideas.
Yeah.
She looks back at that moment of this old woman who's grown and has this life full of experience, but you can still see the beauty in her. And I think that's something that maybe led Barbie to also want to be a human,
Yeah, that's true. Okay. Least favorite part.
I think the very end, very, very end.
Okay.
Well, actually, no. Sorry. I'm forgetting the movie now.
Yeah.
It's been a week.
Yeah.
Since we saw this movie. We're way behind.
I know.
The middle school scene with Sasha and her friends.
Yeah.
And really the whole ensuing drama there was horrible for me.
Yeah. So, just that little girl is so annoying. What's her name? Sasha?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gloria's daughter.
Yeah. I mean, you said this earlier. It hasn't been recorded, but how it's like a millennial or something writing this younger character, and she doesn't know at all how these middle schoolers would speak. So it comes off as completely disingenuous and not real, forced. And she's using all this terminology that's just like annoying for somebody her age to use.
Well, that's what my wife said as we left. She was like, when I was in 8th grade, I don't know if I knew what a fascist was. Like I would be calling people.
I still don't.
Maybe
you know.
Maybe the world is different now and kids get exposed to that stuff younger. Not that we're much older. We're
I don't
10
know.
years older than Sasha's supposed to be. I guess that's a lot.
Dude,
It's Jaren's birthday today. Happy birthday, Jaren.
Thanks.
You turned 24.
Thank you. Dude, when I was that age, I just needed to make sure there was some neon Nike socks ready for me to go to school.
Yeah.
And I just cared about balling at recess or on my lunch break, you know, stuff like that, man. I didn't care about the patriarchy or the matriarchy.
No, dude.
That wasn't even like, that was years and years and years later where I started to think about that a little bit.
And we talked about this a little bit, but you take Sasha out of the movie and it's a better movie. I hate attacking the
but
youth.
it could have been executed very well.
It could have been, yeah.
Where it was like the central part of the movie is this mother-daughter relationship, and like Barbie kind of brings them together, you know?
Which they tried, but they didn't execute well.
Yeah.
Like
I saw this beautiful TikTok video. I don't know if I sent it to you or maybe you sent it to me, where this mother, it was like a montage of this mom like giving her daughter these Barbie dolls, and the mom was like more excited about giving the doll.
Yeah, that's
and
awesome.
like also having it, you know, having this like thing with her daughter that both of them care about, you know? And that's something that I didn't understand about Barbie. I'd never thought about, you know, how it was kind of a relationship tool for lots of mothers and their young daughters, you know? And they should have played into that a little bit more in this movie, I feel like. And they tried, like you said, but like just was not executed well, in my opinion. It's just kind of thrown aside at the end. Never really resolved their dysfunctional relationship, you know?
No, it's not at all.
Yeah.
All is well as soon as Barbie, you know, chooses to be human.
Yeah.
But even so, I don't know. I just really did not like Sasha. And that's a big issue. I've always said I don't like movies that star kids.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Exhibit A.
Okay, come on.
Just kidding. Stand By
You
Me.
pointed to my Stand By Me poster.
But because, like, adults just can't separate their adult experience when they're writing about kids. You know, it's just impossible. Works in Stand By Me, I think, in practice.
Does it?
I don't like it, but I think
Whatever.
it works. But it's just so hard for an adult to write a kid, and it's always noticeable and always, you know, painful to watch for me.
Yeah. Dude, you got to get past that, though. Austin hasn't even watched Stranger Things yet.
Watch the first 3 episodes. They're great.
Okay.
Don't want to get any
Those
further
came
into
out
it.
like 10 years ago.
I watched them last year, though. So I made an effort.
Okay. That's cool. Thank you.
You're
making an effort.
You're welcome. Making an effort for you.
Okay. So we touched on that. Now, also, so my least favorite part is also the most hurtful part for me is the beach serenade scene. Okay. And you made fun of this. Okay. You thought it was, when you initially were watching it, you were like, oh, that's so douchey, like a guy playing the guitar for girls at a fire, you know? That's just the go-to thing for douchey guys to do. And we said, you know, it
Yeah, we all
reminded
had a
us
friend
of
in high school.
a friend in high school, Dallin.
Yeah.
And we just thought it was funny when he did that. But in that moment, I wasn't thinking about that. Or I did, but I quickly got past it and was like, whoa, like, this is a good song. Ryan Gosling his voice is incredible.
Here's the thing with all the hindsight of an adult. Well, even back then, I called Dallin a D-bag when he did that.
Mm-hmm.
But at its core, it's because I was jealous. And
Yeah.
I wanted to be Dallin and be able to play the guitar for
Really?
a girl at a fire, you know?
You could do it.
I remember it was 2013, 2014. Luke Bryan came out with this song.
Yeah.
Can't remember what it was called. But I pictured myself playing it on the guitar for this girl that I liked at the time. I was like, that's going to be so cool. So yeah, this scene did come full circle for me where I was like, yeah, that hurts, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I'd have never really wanted to do that.
Really?
I don't know. I just like when I was on my mission, I learned to play the ukulele.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got home and I played the most intricate song I knew for my parents and my family. And I realized people don't really care. People don't care how well you could play a ukulele or a guitar or whatever. And I don't have the voice to do it. And apologies for my voice right now because I'm a little bit nasally. I'm coming down from a fever and a cold and an ear infection, and my tooth hurts. And
you got surgery the other day.
I just barely got surgery on my eyes, LASIK. So I'm kind of beat up, but it's whatever. This is the Barbie pod. We're pushing through it. But okay, so the beach serenade, he's singing, and Barbie. I know they're like hatching this master plan to get rid of the Kens, get them out of like the whatever election day to sway the voters.
Right.
And but I thought for that moment I was like, whoa, is she about to like fall for Ken? Because I'm falling for Ken right now in this song. And then the song is Push by Matchbox 20.
Mm-hmm.
We all know it, you know. Austin, you want to sing it?
I want to push you around.
And I will. Yep,
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Thank you.
And Barbie totally just rips out Ken's heart. She pulls out her phone when he's mid-song.
That hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like, who are you texting? Like, you know, trying to keep his head, trying to be cool about it.
Cool. Yeah.
And she's like, no one. And he's like, who are you texting? Like, kind of more assertive.
Yeah.
And takes her phone. She's texting another Ken, his mortal enemy, Ken, you know. And then she gets up and she goes over to the other Ken's serenade and listens to him and like compliments him.
And she goes, "Did you write this song?" And he goes, "Yeah, I did."
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So, dude, that just hurts so bad.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and somebody related this to like when you're opening up and you're expressing to a girl like how you feel about something that you care about.
Yeah.
Like if I was explaining like Stand By Me and how much it meant to me to somebody, and then she like got on her phone and was like, oh, Austin gave it 2.5 stars.
Yeah.
So I don't want to see this. That was a really rude girl voice I just did. Sorry.
Did you watch the movie, dude?
Yeah, I am the problem. So
No, but you make a great point. That's my wife.
yeah.
I'll show her a movie, 5-star movie for me,
Mhm.
and I'm excited. I'm checking her reaction every 10 seconds.
No, yeah.
And if she even reaches for her phone, heartbroken. I'm
Yeah.
done for the day, you know.
I know, dude. It's these expectations that we set, you know, and when girls just don't care, it hurts. But this was like an extreme version of
Yeah.
that. Like a serenade. Like I'm
Mhm.
singing at you and you get up and you leave to another guy.
Yeah.
I related it to cheating. I feel like that's the Barbie Land equivalent of cheating. And that's their whole master plan is to manipulate these Kens, cheat on them, destroy them, get them to destroy each other, just so that they can go place their votes without the Kens on who's in the Supreme Court or whatever. And I'm sure there's a bunch of real world tie-ins there or whatever, but yeah, that just really hurt. It's a beautiful scene, it's a beautiful song, like I said, but it was a gut punch, and that's probably I'm gonna like cringe when I watch this movie again and know that part's coming up. You know. Are there any other moments like that like just really hurt when the Barbies were mean to Ken? Oh yeah, the first
Yeah, the first
time
where
she
she's like,
rejected him.
every night is girls' night. I don't want you here.
She said, "I don't want you here."
Yeah.
Yeah, that hurt, man.
And then she walks away, and he's like, "I love you too." And he
Yeah.
goes in for a kiss, and then
And
he,
she just stands there.
away, all sad.
Yeah,
It's just sad.
I sound really petulant right now. But
I did see this thing that was like Gloria,
Mhm.
the way that she played with her dolls controls what happens to Margot Robbie's Barbie, right?
Okay.
Margot Robbie's Barbie is Gloria's.
Okay. Yeah.
And in the car, Gloria says, I never had a Ken growing up.
Uh-huh.
So that's why it makes sense that for Barbie, it's not even on her radar to be in love with Ken.
Okay.
Because Gloria didn't create her that way.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. The nature of
It's so
Barbie
confusing.
land in the real world is very confusing.
And I don't know if I really want to support that, where like Gloria is Barbie's creator or the way that she thinks, because then what happens when Barbie becomes a human and starts living with Gloria? You know, is there still that human doll dynamic?
Yeah.
Is she treated as an equal?
Is she?
It's a little scary.
That is pretty strange. So never quite explained how this whole thing works, but just go with it, I guess. Yeah. Okay. Best quote? What do you think? I am Knuff.
I'm Knuff was great.
Yeah.
I don't know. I really want to give something to Barbie because this is but I genuinely like the most memorable, funny parts to me were the Ken parts because they're relatable, of course.
Mm-hmm.
What I can't quote it directly, but
give one to Sasha.
Okay. That's cultural appropriation.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, white savior Barbie.
White savior Barbie. Oh my gosh.
Dude, just anyway, we'll get into that.
Yeah.
But I liked what Barbie said just as she decides to become human when she's in that like middle ground with Ruth. Mm-hmm. And she says, sorry to our listeners, a jet just passed over. What does she say? She says something to the effect of, I don't want to be an idea anymore. I want to be the one making the ideas.
Making the ideas.
Or something like that.
Yeah.
And I just love that.
That's a great one.
She said something else right there too. I wish I could remember it readily, but whatever.
How about you're so beautiful, I know.
Yeah. Great
Definitely
stuff.
gonna quote that if somebody ever calls me beautiful in my life. You know?
I mean,
just gonna have that ready.
Right. I know.
Yeah.
I definitely liked the whole America Ferrera monologue.
Mm-hmm.
Even though that wasn't for me. I think that's
yeah.
You know.
Yeah, that one's good too.
Oh, no, okay. Here's one.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. I just found the Barbie quote.
All right.
I want to be a part of the people that make the meaning, not the thing being made. And then the next line she says is I want to do, the idea thing.
Yeah.
But also when Barbie's crying about not being stereotypical Barbie pretty anymore, and the narrator says, note to the filmmakers, Margot Robbie is not the right person to cast if you want to make this point.
You like that part?
I liked that. I thought that was hilarious. You didn't like it? Too on the nose?
No, just like, I don't know. You abandoned the narrator like in the first 5 minutes of the movie, and then you're just bringing back Helen Mirren for this quick gag.
Right.
It just kind of, I don't know. People laughed in the audience, but I don't know.
I like those unexpected, like outside, like later in the movie when President Barbie says, yeah, mother effer, and it's bleeped with a Mattel logo. I liked that. Okay. We had different experiences. That's okay.
I'm just like, no. But, yeah, no. Okay. So let's Which one are we settling on as best quote?
Do we have to agree?
I agree with, I think it's Barbie, that Barbie quote you just said.
Yeah, I think Barbie's best quote is that. And
Yeah.
I think Ken's best quote is
I'm Knuff.
I'm enough, maybe.
Yeah. There's another one that he says that I liked where he's like, oh, you caught me reading. He's like just got his book about horses.
Oh my gosh, dude. When he right after that,
Mm-hmm.
when he's like, give me a second to think about it. And he goes behind the wall and he's like, sublime! Just screams it.
Oh, yeah.
It's just, dude, Ryan Gosling, I think any other actor delivering it like that would kind of cringe me out.
Yeah. Who
Ryan
else
Gosling.
could play this part?
Nobody. Not a
Nobody.
single person in the world could play this Ken.
Yeah. And like think even like back, I mean, one of our categories is like recasting with
Yeah.
older actors. Who could even do this? Like,
I mean,
back in the day.
I really love Paul Newman's charisma. I think it's similar to Ryan Gosling's, but they're a totally different type of man
Yeah.
that I don't think Paul Newman could even work.
No. Harrison Ford?
No way. Not even close.
He couldn't.
No.
Like him just in real life, like he just couldn't accept being Ken and
Yeah.
being that like fun and doing a dance number. There's no way.
No, I really can't think of anybody. Maybe Michael J. Fox.
Maybe.
That's-
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
Yep.
This movie came out at the perfect time.
Mm-hmm.
Those dogs.
Yeah. My
Okay.
puppy
tell
is
the people screaming.
barking. I hope you guys can't hear that on the pod.
Yeah, I just don't think there's a better time for this movie to be made where we have Margot and Ryan at like maybe not the peak of their careers, but just perfect timing for both of them.
Yeah. Okay. Any plot holes or unanswered questions? I think it's just like Sasha and the mother, their storyline just never gets resolved. So that's the, and also like what happens the next day with Margot. I mean,
we talked about that.
Yeah, she's just she's thrown into this real world. She doesn't have a social security number or any form of identification, maybe.
How's she going to get a job?
She just got rollerblades and
Yeah.
Gloria's helping her out. And now she's meeting with her gynecologist or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't like any of the Mattel bits that much.
Yeah.
Like one plot hole was why are they in the real world but still just as silly as like Barbie Land? When they're chasing her, they're like running in a grid, can't catch her. They want to put her in the box, but they never know. We never know what the box does. Does it send her back to Barbie Land?
Yeah.
Presumably
We don't
not.
even know. Yeah.
Are they just planning to imprison her there?
Yeah. I don't know. Okay. Any life lessons from this movie? You are enough.
You are enough. Be nicer to women. Don't be the patriarchy.
Yeah. So many jets flying by.
I know.
I know, dude.
World War
Jeez.
III, I guess.
Don't they know we're recording? That's crazy. Okay. Worst character to hang out with?
Worst
Sasha.
character to hang out with? Sasha, yeah.
Yeah, easily. Not even a question. Her at her middle school lunch table.
Holy cow.
That'd be the worst thing.
Yeah. If that girl, the girl that's like vetting her visitors,
Yeah.
came up to me. So let's say I want to hang out with Sasha.
Okay.
I'm going over to the table.
Yeah, yeah.
Her not friend, but bodyguard, whatever that was, comes up and tells me, "Hey, you don't just go up and talk to Sasha."
Mm-hmm.
I'll be like, "Okay, I don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't want to hang out with her."
Yeah.
So maybe that girl is a central part of the movie, where I don't want to hang out with Sasha. I also feel like Simu Liu's Ken.
Mhm.
He was just such a jerk to Ryan Gosling's Ken.
He was,
Maybe I don't
yeah.
want to hang out with him.
I kind of hold that against him.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Who should Ryan Gosling have played?
Ken, I would say.
Yeah, probably just Ken, yeah. What scene in the movie would you most want to be there for?
Maybe the Ken dance number.
Yeah.
for sure.
Not the middle school?
No.
Okay.
Or maybe when Ryan Gosling's Ken tries to go surfing and gets injured, I would want to be one of the nurses working on him just so I could get a feel.
Okay. What about when Margot takes off her feet or takes off her shoes in that part? Get nervous thinking about it.
Yeah, I'd like to be there for any of the feet scenes. I would also like to get punched by Barbie or by Margot. Not necessarily that I would want to be the guy that slaps her butt.
Yeah.
Like maybe they could bring in a body double to slap her butt because I don't want to disrespect Margot.
I could never do that.
But I would want to get, punched in the face.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, great. Is this the greatest movie ever?
Yeah, it could be.
Okay.
Best Barbie movie ever, for sure.
You can't say that because you have not seen the animated Barbie movies.
Well, I haven't seen every movie ever, so maybe this category doesn't.
Maybe it doesn't make sense. I think it does, though.
I think
one of these days it's going to be the greatest movie ever.
Grace has shown me some clips from her favorite Barbie movies growing up, and they're horrendous.
Yeah.
So I would imagine this is the best one.
Okay. I say no. It's not the greatest movie ever. But we'll see. We'll see how it ages. Most literally me character, just Ken. Also that guy that Gloria's husband who's just doing Duolingo, and that's you.
I literally did Duolingo this morning.
Really?
Yeah.
I turned to Zach when that scene happened. I said, "That's Austin," and he laughed. So that validated it. Okay, facts about the production. We have a few here. Ryan Gosling, he was offered the role of Ken, and when he was thinking about it, he went into his backyard and he saw a Ken doll lying face down in a sandbox next to a crusty old lemon. And he took a picture of it, sent it to Greta Gerwig, and said, "I will be your Ken.
I shall be your Ken.
I shall be your Ken. Like, his story must be told."
Yeah.
Yeah. Such a guy, dude. Such a great guy. It's crazy. Story needed to be told. So
yeah, and it was told.
And it was. And then the book about horses was a gift from Barbie.
Mm-hmm.
From Margot Robbie herself. She gave Ken like a Barbie themed gift every day on set. And so that was one of the gifts that she gave him, and he just kind of just brought it into the scene.
Right.
So, anything else?
She gave him a gift every day. Margot Robbie did.
Yeah.
Oh, this was something I found out just the other day since we last recorded. The montage of women at the end, those are all clips from family videos from the cast and crew.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, some of those videos, Margot said, are, like, her friends. So really, really cool.
Yeah.
Makes that scene even more touching.
Yeah, that's a good one. Okay. We're going to do the draft.
Okay.
Right now. Very excited about this. Like we said earlier, it's going to be Margot Robbie and Ken, Ryan Gosling's
same thing.
Yep. Filmography at our disposal. Draft from that to create a super team of movies, and we're going to see which team's better. Austin, you had the first pick, or I had the first pick during the Ryan Gosling draft, so I'm going to give you the first pick.
Okay.
Just to switch things up.
So are we trying to keep Margot's and Ryan's movies like equal, like the number that we pick, or just overall best 6 movies?
Overall best 6 movies
okay.
Out of both their filmography.
Perfect.
Okay. So you have the first pick. What do you?
Okay. With the first pick, I'm going to choose... this is tough because it's not really like her performance that makes this movie great.
Whoa, you're not Okay.
What?
Nothing. I thought your first pick would be the same.
As before?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess, yeah. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do La La Land.
Okay. So Austin taking La La Land. I was like, well, I could take this right now. I could take La La Land if he doesn't go for it.
Yeah, I would have been devastated. I'm glad you said so.
Yeah. Okay. Ooh, because now you're. What were you thinking of? You were thinking of
know.
a Barbie, of a Margot performance.
Oh, I was thinking Suicide Squad. Oh, I shouldn't have said that. Now you're going to pick it.
You were gonna take that? Are you joking?
I was going to take that first. So you better take it before I can get
Suicide Squad.
it. You better take it before I can get it. The first one.
The first Suicide Squad.
Yeah, you better take it before I can get it.
Shut up. Oh, okay. Now I know. You sound so stupid. Didn't know what you were doing. Okay. Mine's gonna be the same. Blade Runner
Okay.
2049.
Oh, dude.
Oh yeah, we need to like talk about the films. Just in case you haven't seen it. Blade Runner. Beautiful, visually stunning film. It's Denis Villeneuve, or however you say his last name.
Denis Villeneuve.
Denis Villeneuve, or whatever.
Villeneuve, yeah.
Yeah. Beautiful film. Wonderful Ryan Gosling performance as Officer K. And it's just a great movie all around. Harrison Ford's in it.
Yeah.
He's fantastic. Very interesting story. And it's one of my all-time favorites.
Yeah, you can't beat it. Except you can.
All right. And La La Land, extremely personal film for you.
Just one of my very favorite. Came out right as we were getting into film. Or, maybe even earlier than that.
Yeah. Was the first time you watched it in that film class?
No, I watched it in theaters, and I remember I was dating this girl, or maybe I had just started dating this girl, and she really liked it, and so it made me want to like it, and I went in, loved every second of it. I watched it with Joss and Zach. Zach and I loved it. It was perfect. Joss was texting his then girlfriend at the time, like under his shirt. I remember being furious at Joss because I was like, "You just missed this masterpiece. You were texting somebody because you were stressed." So, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Just great memories of that movie. And then we watched it in the film class.
Yeah.
With the context of like having seen Singing in the Rain, which has a lot of influences on this film. So just great. Great Ryan Gosling, great Emma Stone performances.
Yeah. I don't know why. I was super interested in La La Land. Like when I saw the trailer, I was like, wow, that looks really, really good. And I would like pull up scenes, like little scenes came out, like one of the dance numbers when he's walking over to her car, and I watched that like 5 times. I was just like mesmerized, and I had to go see it in theaters. So me and my friend Leland, we went and saw it, just the two of us, and I loved it.
Yeah.
So great movie, still holds up. Okay, got your next pick.
Okay, this one is gonna be Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Dang, damn it, dude! I skipped that one because I didn't think you'd take it.
That's why I was like, it's not necessarily her performance in the film.
No,
But-
I thought you were talking about Babylon.
Nope.
Dude, I want to kill you, man. So mad, dude. I would have taken that first.
Sorry, you had a shot.
Yeah, but I thought you were
You gave it to
skipping
me.
it. Dude, you suck.
Sorry.
I want to go back.
Let's just cut this and redo it.
No, dude. Gosh. Okay, whatever.
See, that's when we first recorded this, we didn't get a reaction like that because we both got what we wanted.
Yeah.
And I'm glad we got that. That's more fun.
I'm not glad that we got that. Man, you don't even want to know what I want to pick next.
Then I'll tell them about Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Okay.
Margot Robbie
Yeah.
plays a pretty minimal role. She plays Sharon Tate, a real life actress. She is great. She's just that scene at the Playboy Mansion where she's in that yellow like outfit and just dancing by herself.
Yeah.
That is the purest form. If aliens come to Earth tomorrow and say, "Show us cinema," I'm pulling up that 20-second clip, man.
Okay.
It's just perfect. And of course, Brad Pitt and Leo, really, it's just a perfect buddy movie, and it's great. So,
Okay. Yeah, I guess I like that movie too. It's whatever. It's not only like in my top 5 favorite movies ever.
sure.
So,
Sure.
okay, cool. Glad you got that one. You know what? I'm taking Babylon.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
I already got my Chazelle, dude.
Well, I'm gonna take the next one right here too.
Oh, you're going to take my next
I
Chazelle?
am.
Okay.
No, just yes, you better take it now. Okay, whatever. Babylon. Very cool. Austin likes it a bit more than me, maybe.
Yeah, I think it's a 5-star movie.
Yeah, I say it's a 4.5 or whatever.
Sure.
Actually, no, it's a near perfect masterpiece. And Margot, I'm very glad I got this performance of hers on my team because she is phenomenal. And she carries the movie, so it's just like a Margot movie for the most part. So
She's electric in that movie.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
she's wonderful.
Now I'm kind of torn because I want my second favorite Ryan Gosling movie
Okay.
is what I want to pick, but I might have to go. Oh. This is tough. Do I go Chazelle or Scorsese? I think the masses like Wolf of Wall Street more.
Okay.
I'll take Wolf of Wall Street.
Okay.
For the record, First Man is the better movie by far. Maybe not by far. More personable and more enjoyable for me.
Okay.
But I'm taking Wolf of Wall Street. Of course, this is a movie about Jordan Belfort, directed by Martin Scorsese. Margot Robbie's first role, I believe, or one of her first.
Her very first.
Her very first role.
Yeah. Well, she was on like a TV show
Right.
where she was like a flight attendant or something. It was a pilot, but did it get made into a TV show?
I couldn't tell you.
She was on like Australian TV for
Right.
just a little bit, but this
Yeah,
was
she
her first.
steals the show.
Yeah, no, she's fantastic. It's incredible.
And correct me if I'm wrong. I think you've told me this, but for the casting, they just said go out and find
The hottest blonde
you can
there
find.
is. Yeah.
And she fit perfectly.
She did. And in her audition, she was doing a screen test with Leo and she smacked him in the face.
Wow.
And it was like the Venice scene, like, who? What are you, a freaking owl?
Gosh.
And she like smacks him. And then Leo, she like felt bad about it. But Leo was like laughing, like that was perfect. And
She's perfect, man.
yeah, so
When I'm
She
looking at
obviously
her
got the part.
filmography like this, she is Australian, obviously. She
Mhm.
plays a lot of roles where she has like a New England or
like a Jersey.
New Jersey, New York accent.
Yeah.
Wall Street, Babylon, Harley Quinn, and the Suicide Squad. So kind of funny.
Yeah. Okay. Gosh dang it.
See, I don't think you'll pick First Man. I don't think you could bring yourself to do it. You don't like that movie.
It's just
Overdrive?
that's what I'm thinking right now. Whatever, I won't screw you over. I'm gonna take Drive. Just
I
because
knew it, dude. I knew you didn't have the
I just
guts.
like it more. What did you just barely pick?
Wolf.
Yeah, Wolf. Okay.
So I'm at Hollywood, Wolf, and La La Land.
Dude, I hate you. You're just better right now. And I don't know if I can make up the slack.
Well, I think if I pick what I want to pick right here, then I'll fall behind.
Okay, go for it then.
Dude, it's tough.
If you're really gonna take Suicide Squad, I don't
No,
understand you.
I wouldn't touch that movie, dude.
The second one's kind of good. Birds
I
of
like
Prey.
the second one,
Okay.
the James Gunn one.
Yeah, the James Gunn one.
This is tough.
What are you thinking?
You want to hear my thoughts right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to hear your pick.
I think let's do Barbie, just because that's two birds, one stone. Great performances from both. Movie objectively isn't as good as 3 or 4 movies that I have over it.
Okay.
More like 5 or 6 movies that I have over it. But from their performances alone, I think that'll strengthen my team.
Okay. Sure.
Hey, write that down. Write my pick
Here's
down.
all right, dude. Whatever. What was it again?
Shut up. You're
Legit
joking. You better
forgot.
be joking. Barbie.
Barbie.
Jeez.
Dude, I'm sick.
Sure.
Okay. I'm glad you took that because I'm gonna take About Time right
Oh.
now.
I don't even want that.
Dude, come on, you love that one.
I do love that movie.
Yeah. Margot plays a smaller role, but she's fantastic in the
Yeah.
parts that she's in. It's a beautiful love story about time travel, and our perfect, sweet queen, Rachel McAdams, is in it.
Yeah.
Spencer thinks she's a fat, stupid idiot
Yeah,
because she has
she's horrific.
moles. So yeah, ladies, go after Spencer for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just love that one. It's one of my favorites. Like one of my go-to like recommendation, maybe like a romance film people haven't heard of or seen.
Yeah.
Like
Great movie night.
watch About Time. Yeah. It's a
We
perfect.
we watched that a few weeks ago with some friends, and all of us, there were 7 of us there. 6 of us were bawling at the
Yeah.
end of that movie. The 7th, my buddy Staten, wasn't phased at all.
Really?
The rest of us were just dying.
He just couldn't get into it.
I guess not.
Like
yeah.
Oppenheimer, he said.
I can't remember why he said he couldn't get into it. I personally don't like that it's all British. But Domhnall Gleeson,
Yeah.
I think that's his name, the main guy. I used to not like him.
Really?
But between this and Ex Machina,
Mhm.
he's a heavy hitter. That
Yeah.
guy.
Ex Machina is great.
Yeah, one of my favorite movies. Okay, my turn.
Whoa,
Excuse me. My turn. I'm getting really nervous
You have
here.
to skip your
Coming down
turn
the
for
wire.
that.
My turn.
Yeah. You have 2 picks left. So
Okay.
you really got to round this out here.
Oh, this is tough. This is tough.
Yeah. I know.
Because I could go with a heavy hitter, or I could go with a personal favorite.
Go with the personal favorite.
No, let's go Crazy Stupid Love.
Okay.
Just another great, Friends night, rom-com, classic.
Stupid love.
Ryan Gosling is like at the peak of his sexual appeal. But I don't know.
No, he's not.
In this movie, yeah, you're right. It's Drive.
No, it's not Drive either.
What is it?
It could have been Drive. I don't like that you laughed. The jacket and the gloves are cool.
I know.
It's Place Beyond the Pines. That's what it is.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that yet. I'll watch that this
You've
week.
seen like,
I've seen clips of his tattoos and
yeah,
stuff.
you get just TikToks after TikToks about just Ryan Gosling edits,
Yeah.
don't you?
And I was
not just me.
stalking Eva Mendes's Instagram yesterday
Mm-hmm.
because, they're married, but they're very, very private about it.
Oh, yeah.
So I was like, does she have any photos of him? She has like 2. And one of them is just a picture of them on set of Place Beyond the Pines. And I was like, man, I got to watch this movie.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Ooh, it's my pick.
Yep.
I think I got a good one here. I'm gonna take.
Just take Focus.
No, dude.
I really want Focus.
Shut up. It's a good movie, man. The one scene, the gambling scene at the football game.
Oh, the football game.
Don't humor me. You're patronizing me. It's a good. It's like the build up.
Yeah.
He keeps gambling, and then I won't spoil it.
No, it's really, that scene is intense.
Okay.
I
You
hate
just
it.
don't like slick con man or heist movies.
Yeah, because here's what I picture.
And that's on you. That's a problem with you.
That is my issue. But I picture
Oppenheimer is a heist movie. Do you realize that? There's an assembly of a team
okay.
and completing of a project with a time race or whatever, like there always is.
So you're saying that every movie that people come together and complete an objective is a heist movie?
I'm saying there's the cliches of heist movies in Oppenheimer that you don't like.
Yeah.
Yeah, it hits those beats.
No, and I think those are my least favorite parts of the movie.
Hmm.
Where it's
Come
just
on.
like one scene after the other. Like, I need you, come with me. Name of physicist.
Yeah, maybe I shouldn't have said that.
No.
Because then at one point he looks at Josh Peck and
Yeah.
he's like, you know quantum mechanics better than anybody in the world. And that's just like, okay, you're talking to Josh from
Josh.
Drake and Josh.
He
You
worked
know?
at a movie theater. Yeah.
Yeah,
You
that bothered me a little bit.
know
Kinda
who
took me
really
out of
works
it.
in that scene is Jack Quaid.
Yeah. No, he's wonderful.
I buy it. Anyway, let's move on from that. Sorry,
Okay.
I've got like 10 minutes.
Okay. I'm going to take Asteroid City.
Okay.
Oh, you surprised?
From Margot Robbie?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's fine. That's great.
she's in it. Okay.
She is in it.
Her scene
I actually
is,
love that scene.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite scenes of the movie.
It's one of the best. Okay, your last pick. Oh, dude, you're going to get...
What am I going to get?
I don't know.
Here's the thing. I kind of want to pick something to round it out for like the female listeners that we have, the two maybe that we have.
You already have Barbie and Crazy Stupid Love and La La Land.
Oh my gosh. You think those are chick movies?
I think they're universally appealing to both genders.
Yeah. You're
Or
right.
all genders. Whoa.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. Dude, I just love Margot's performance in I, Tonya. I don't really love the movie. But she's fantastic. Gosh, this is tough. Well, if I'm just going off my ranking. Oh, this is not as fun as last time. We're going to have to salvage that audio.
Why is this not as fun? I feel like
It's
this
not
is
as,
more,
like, sure, now I have to think more about it.
this is more fun.
This is way more fun. Oh, gosh. Why does Ryan Gosling have so many good movies?
Dude, take focus. You'll thank me later
Okay.
because
I'm going to go with
Amsterdam's still there, just in case you
yeah,
forgot.
Amsterdam.
Tarzan?
That's my favorite Taylor Swift performance.
not not Valentine's Day.
Oh, I do love that.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me just tell you what's still on the board.
Okay.
First Man, Blue Valentine, Notebook, Nice Guys, Lars and the Real Girl, Big Short for Ryan, I, Tonya, The Suicide Squads, Birds of Prey, Amsterdam. See, I think I'm not picking a Margot movie. That's for sure.
Not I, Tonya?
Dude, her performance is fantastic.
Yeah.
I just don't. It's a genre that I don't care too much about.
It's got a 3.8 average on
I think I
Letterboxd.
gave it like a 4. Yeah.
You did. The second Suicide Squad is still there. That's got a 3.5.
Yeah, that's great.
The
Let's
Big
go ahead
Short is also a Margot and Ryan Gosling joint performance.
Yeah, but like on a technicality.
Now, dude, her bathtub scene is awesome.
That's the best part of the movie.
Yeah.
Look, I don't want to appeal to the masses. I already have it, like you said.
Yeah.
So I'm going First Man.
Okay. Yeah. Don't give in.
My second pick would have been Blue Valentine or The Notebook, for the record.
Or the
So
Notebook.
now you can't pick either of those.
Okay. What do I want here? I know what I want to pick if I'm going personal,
Sure.
but and also if I want to I feel like my personal is also it may be more appealing to the masses for when people tell us which team won. Man. Yeah, I think I'm going to go. I'm deciding between The Big Short and The Notebook.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I'm going to have to just go with The Notebook.
Okay. I think that's going to get you some points.
Yeah, it's a 5-star movie for me.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, in terms of romance movies.
Oh, it's a 4.5 for me. It's number 9 on my list of Ryan Gosling movies.
That's flawed.
Yeah, I know. I should probably bump it up above Lars and the Real Girl.
All of our friends, Nick gave it a 2.5.
The Notebook?
Yeah.
Nick?
Yeah.
Ender?
I know. He's just, I don't know, dude. But everybody else, 4.5s or 5s.
Sure.
Your wife gave it 4.
She does. I don't think she knows how the rating system works. There's some movies.
You just assume
It is a
that.
point of contention in our relationship.
Okay.
She gave La La Land like a 3.
What?
When I found out about it, I almost divorced her.
Okay.
It was that, groundbreaking.
Yeah, no, that's like a underreaction.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why did she, what was the explanation?
Well, I think she's fixed it now.
Okay, good.
But it was just one of those things. She downloaded the app, hadn't really thought about it. Even so,
She's like, what
still
do stars mean?
she's still at a 4.5,
Okay.
which just makes me angry.
Yeah, that's just like she's giving in to you,
Yeah.
confronting her about it. But she's not.
Joss gave it a 5.
Okay, good. Yeah, it is a 5.
Joss downloaded Letterboxd like 2 weeks ago. And what does he do? He goes to La La Land and rates it
Yeah,
appropriately. So
he's a good
thank
guy.
you, Joss.
Thank you, Joss. Spencer gave the Notebook 4.5. It's kind of messed up.
Spencer doesn't know.
He doesn't know the rating system.
Well, I gave the Notebook 4.5.
You got to
so-
explain these things in Minecraft terms to him.
Yeah, our next pod will be an hour and a half of us explaining Letterboxd scores in terms of Minecraft.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So that's it then. We've got, I'll read the teams here.
Okay.
Blade, this is my team. Okay. Blade Runner 2049, Babylon, Drive, About Time, Asteroid City, and The Notebook. Austin, your team is La La Land, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Wolf of Wall Street, Barbie, Crazy Stupid Love, and First Man.
See, yours just sounds stronger.
Yeah, I think I made up your first 3 are better than my first 3, but my next 3 I think, are better than your next 3.
Yeah, I just didn't have the heart to, put my favorite movies on the back burner, so I had to come back to them.
Yeah, I think Barbie and I guess just the last 3. They're just
Nobody likes First Man.
Yeah,
talk to.
people don't. I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. I like my movies better. Gosh, dude, so mad you got Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I showed you that movie, man.
You did.
I showed it to you, and you took it from me.
I think that's like our friendship movie. I want to be so bold as to say that.
You think so?
When I'm seeing Brad Pitt and Leo just chumming it up, I just think of you, man.
Yeah,
So,
dude, you just got me. I'm looking at the poster that Austin got me for my birthday, and it's a Rick Dalton performance, Operazione Dynamite.
I've learned Italian on Duolingo if you want me to read that
Yeah,
for
could you read it actually?
Operazione
Yeah,
Dynamite.
Dynamite.
Yeah.
It's a poster from one of the Rick Dalton performances in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. So I guess that is true, but
I don't know. Maybe you don't feel the same, and that's okay.
I just feel like it's mine, but
It's your movie.
It's not.
Sure. Okay, let's just go with that.
No,
Let's
I'm
just
just
end it
kidding.
right here.
When no. When I think about it, I think about how every time we mention it in front of Forrest, he's like, "Oh yeah, you watched it without me." That one time.
The one night he decided to go to bed on time.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
probably because he played Warzone until 10 a.m. that
Yeah.
night before. Needed to go to bed so he could wake up for his job or something in the morning. So he just gets butthurt every time we mention it. And no, we all watched it together. You guys all didn't like it that much the first time.
Yeah.
But as I said, as you rewatch it, it gets better and better.
Yeah.
Because you know what's coming and you appreciate it a lot more. So, okay. Yeah, so just decide in your head right now which team won. send us a text message or an email or message us,
if you're on YouTube.
comment on YouTube or whatever. Let us know who won and why or whatever, or what you would have done differently or a movie you would have picked. And we'll take it into account. So that should be it.
Yep.
Sorry that the first half of the pod is maybe, if there's some parts that you can't hear or whatever, we're sorry about that. But we cared so much about this pod, we had to re-record the last little bit for you guys. So,
And yeah, sorry, our Oppenheimer, I'm going on a cruise in like 20 minutes.
yeah.
So our Oppenheimer episode won't drop until next week. So it'll be almost 2 weeks since the movie came out. Sorry about that, but it will be great,
Yeah,
I think.
it will be great. And we also saw another 5-star movie called Talk to Me. We won't say anything about it, but just wow.
Yeah. Go see it.
Go see Talk to Me.
If you're listening now, go see Talk to Me so that you're ready for our pod because it was amazing.
It was like incredible. Yeah, I won't spoil that pod, but could be the best movie of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's debatable,
Maybe the best horror movie I've ever seen.
Yeah, that's not even. I don't want to like fall into recency bias or whatever, but like,
I think we might be, but we'll see. We'll revisit it.
yeah, okay. Thank you so much for listening. If you stuck through this pod, I know it's a long one. We love you so much. Thank you, Fixation Nation. Thanks for fixating on film with us. Fixation Nation.